Nigeria is known as the giant of Africa. But then, in reality, how true is this statement or this clause? Given the fact that Nigeria's image globally is tainted with a lot of diplomatic challenges, ethnic issues, insurgencies, and political problems, how do people view Nigerians and Nigeria globally? Well, joining us via Zoom is Mazi Emmanuel Nwankwo. Mazi Emmanuel is chairman, Arondi Zogo Patriotic Union, National Congress, North America. Hello, Mazi. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us.
Good morning.
You're someone who has traveled far and wide, and you're someone who has carried and wielded the Nigerian green passport. What has that experience been for you? Has it been bliss all through, or there were some challenges based off of the fact that you are just carrying the Nigerian passport? What has been the experience for you?
Well, has been always a very big challenge because immediately that people meet you anywhere in the world and you start having greeting and conversation, the first thing that comes out from them, they think about you. When they see you, they think what they see is 419. And it's not the best experience, but as somebody who has been traveling and who has lived abroad for so long, I'll be able to talk to them and let them know, yes, I am a Nigerian, but it doesn't mean that all Nigerians are 419ers. Many of us still have legitimate business, but I come out openly to tell them, well, if 419 will be a challenge to you because you want to make quick money and you think that you have met some Africans that you think they don't have sense, so you can go and get over them. And they will in turn get over you because of your greed. When an individual comes out and tell you, oh, I have an oil field, you give me $500,000 so I can bribe for you to get you 10 million. How do you think that is true? Because you're greedy. I tell them in their face, sometimes even when I go in to buy a pass and I meet like some managers and we have conversation, I tell them, you gamble into all these problems because of your greed, okay, which is everywhere. Mind you, when you come to America, the Nigerians is one of the is the most successful and the most educated immigrants in the entire United States. So I tell them up front, check it. Okay, because of your greed, that's what puts you into that difficulties with Nigerians. That is always my response to them.
All right, thank you very
Yes.
much, Mazi. There's something you just said now that is very instructive, and I want you to elaborate a little bit on it. You said that that it is the greed, possible greed, and
Yes.
attitude of the white man or the Westerner rather, towards the black man, thinking that they can actually have a field day with a black man or the Nigerian, and then they try to, become greedy, and then this greed enables fraud. If I got you correctly, that it is the greed of the Westerners that enables fraud, and 419, like it's commonly called in our local parlance. I want you to elaborate on that. How endemic is this problem? And as a businessman, how have you been able to navigate that challenge?
Well, when I respond to them on that way, they know that what I'm saying is the truth. Because if they are not greedy, they would not fall into the trap of 419ers. Because it does not make sense that somebody will correct 500,000 upfront from you and give you 20 million. That is, you are manifesting your greed, and that way they will entrap you and will be able to succeed to take your money and giving you nothing. Doesn't make sense, if, even though I know it happens every day. If somebody comes and tell you that, oh, I have an airport to sell to you, and you will believe it, and went and borrow 20 million and then send to a person you have not seen, person you have not done business with before, to sell an airport that you never seen before to you. And when I tell them this way, most of the time, to be honest with you, they completely shut up their mouth and they go cold. Yes.
All right. All right, Mazi, you've mentioned that fraud, commonly known as 419, is a trend, one of the trends actually that paints Nigeria in a particular light that is negative, globally. Now, are there other trends? In my introduction, I mentioned insurgency, I mentioned political issues and crises, ethnic crisis, that actually scares potential investors in Nigeria. It scares them away from Nigeria. So aside probably fraud, 419, what other trends paint Nigerians in a bad light, abroad?
Well, the issue of all these radicals running around, Fulani henchmen, and different radicals in Nigeria. Because of that, 70% of foreign investors doesn't even want to dare come to Nigeria. For instance, I have a foreign country that wanted to come to Nigeria and build a factory, a kind of refinery for grease, for automobiles. And immediately the military took over, and at the time it was the time that General what's his name from Mina took over
Babangida?
government, and Babangida, yes. And immediately the company said no more, they are not coming anymore. Which is a business that has already been final for them to come and build a factory to be producing grease in Nigeria. Because of that, the company did not come again and did not even want to do business anymore in Nigeria. And that affects it. Other companies, like I've given you specific examples. Another company that makes fertilizer wanted to come to Nigeria and start the fertilizing business and build the factory and manufacturing it in Nigeria. But because of instability in Nigeria and the things they see, the barbaric nature of things that is happening without any kind of control, they don't want to come. to bring their money and don't know what will happen tomorrow. There is crime everywhere in the world, but crime has consequence. We are now here in America. If somebody gets shot here, in the next no more than 2 minutes, there is, if not 10, 20 policemen will be here. But it doesn't happen in Nigeria. Nobody cares. That is a very, very serious problem. And when they start questioning you from what they see, you do not know how to circumvent it, to tell them why it's happening, because it's an eyesore. But then they will tell you, but I see a picture of a woman on the road. Some people are beating her, and when we read what is the offense, and then the only thing is that she stole, and they are beating her in the streets. Sometimes they see it, the lady being burnt with tire and all those type of things. It's very, very unbecoming. It's an eyesore. And you have no answer.
Thank you, Mazi. You are the chairman. You are sitting at the helm of affairs in the Arrondissement Patriotic Union in North America. Now, tell us, are there some interventions through your organization to improve the image of Nigerians in North America? Are there some interventions or activities towards cultural diplomacy to, improve the image of Nigerians, where you are located?
Yes, because the organization, and I've been in the helm of the affair of APUNCN of North America for the past, because of the COVID, I've been the chairman for the past 7 years now, and we've been involved so much in a lot of things, development in our community, which is around this zone, and getting involved because we have all these insurgents now in my community around this zone. And the organization is doing a great work, helping DEAR to make sure that those people that is trying to harm our brothers and sisters in the community will not actually succeed. Because we are all in the diaspora, and we work together, both in the United States, in London, in Canada, in Germany, but just to name a few. All our people in the diaspora get together, have meetings. As a matter of fact, we're going to have meeting again today about 3 different sections of the organizations. We'll have at least 3 different meetings today with all the president of the organization all over the world, and
All right. I guess Mazi is experiencing some technical difficulties again from his end. All right, we'll continue right after this timeout while we sort out the technical issues. Please stay with us.
What is these technical difficulties?
All right, welcome back. We're still discussing with Mazi on the image of Nigerians in diaspora. Mazi, can you hear us clearly?
Yes, I think I moved too. Let me see if it's gonna be better here.
All right, please go ahead. Go ahead with your submissions.
Okay. So as I was saying before the technical difficulties started, so our organization is helping in a lot of ways to improve the community in general at home.
All right, Mazi, if I can step in, it's in line with what you are saying. Can you give us clear-cut impact or outcome from your interventions? Because you have actually alluded to the fact that there are indeed interventions from your organization, but are there some measurable outcomes that you can share with us now?
Well, there is measurable actions, but some of them is in mostly in terms of security. And you know, when anything comes to security, it's a kind of things that, you know, is somehow something secret. Nobody wants to let the other one hand know what the other is doing. And I can tell you is because of people like this, our organization, that is why people of Arondizog is still sitting in Arondizog today. They would have been all gone or run out of Arondizog. But the support of the people of Arondizog in the diaspora made it impossible to remove the people of Arondizog. Yes.
All right, Mazi, let's talk about the image of Nigeria. Back to our, subject matter, image of Nigerians in diaspora. Now, I was supposed to ask you to find out what your mandate or the mandate of your organization is. But regardless, is there any sort of advocacy by your organization over there in North America to improve the image of Nigerians and also to educate our people who live in diaspora to be able to position Nigeria in a better light? Any activity of any sort, any form of advocacy, please tell us about it.
Well, as I know, we are very much involved politically here in the States. And knowing the people in government, we do and put up a different view about our country, Nigeria, try to portray it in a very positive way by letting them know that any difficulties that is coming out from our country is not only because of the entire country, but of the making of few individuals. And when they look at our community here, they see the attitude and the performance of our community here. They tend to agree that what we are telling them is how it is, that is not something that is general, that is something that has happened because of some few individuals, all the community in general that is the same way. So they tend to agree. We are very much involved here, mostly in the big cities, New York, California, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, and so on and so forth. We are very, very much involved with the leaders politically. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mazi. But there are some countries in North America, or rather, yeah,
Yes.
some countries in North America that have issued travel restrictions and advisories against Nigerians. Now, what are some of the steps you think can be taken to avert, some of these things in future and improve the image of Nigerians abroad? Even if the intervention is not coming from your organization, but generally, how would you advise Nigerians to conduct themselves such that such travel restrictions will not be, imposed on them?
Thank you. Well, it is something that is very difficult through everybody. When, if you look at our country, for instance, you conduct you can count with your one hand all the industries that is in Nigeria put together, if any, unless it's railways.
Mazi, are you still with us?
Help. I think it seems
Mazi,
you
are you
lost
still
me
with us?
again. Yes, I am still with you. I'm hearing you very clear myself.
All right. Do you think this image issue Nigeria is experiencing negatively globally, that it has actually enabled or fueled racism in North America? And in what ways do you think this has, enabled racism in North America?
Well, because when somebody wants to, I can't say don't like you, or because he's a white, you're a black, he doesn't want to deal with you because of what he have heard about your country, and in doing so, you are showing that attitude that they are afraid of. You are making them to look as if it's true by, even though they're trying to overlook the attitude, you will still continue to perform that same attitude. It's a very, very big problem, because you will be watching somebody in the airport, they're trying to search the person, and you feel embarrassed, and oh, why are you searching her like that? It's a lady. But before you know it, you see they find something on the person that you are trying to defend. Now, where do you go from here? You feel ashamed yourself, for you are trying to defend your own people. But then you go ahead, you don't blame the person, because he's only trying to make a living. You are not trying to say that is the only way to make a living, but probably has no other way or doesn't know any other way. Then he thinks that the best thing is to take the chance, knowing what taking the chance might lead to. And when you're trying to tell them that that is not the only way, I talk to people here in occasions where the people have convention. I will attend, then pick up the microphone and they tell the people, please, everybody should find something to do. Do something legally. And I give them example. I said, when I finished high school in Nigeria, I was doing what is called cream boom. That is, go where they building a house and they pack cement, block, and then I'll be packing it and giving it to the people that is building. And at the end of the week, I get paid. It might not be so much, but it's mine. So I use myself to give them that example on the microphone to everybody to hear that there is some other things that you can do, at least to make a living, not only doing some illegal things that will put you and your children under the ladder. People will be looking at you all the same way, which we all are not.
All right, yes. Mazi, you did mention when we started this interview that Nigerians are the most successful Africans in the Americas now, especially in North America. Now, how can Nigerians leverage this strength to improve the global image of Nigeria? You know, both Nigerians in diaspora, of course, those in Nigeria. How can we leverage on our strength as the most successful Africans in North America to improve the global image of Nigeria?
Well, it's not only Africans. I'm talking in terms of all the immigrants from all over the world. Nigerians singly, Nigerians are the most successful immigrants in the whole United States.
All right.
Both educational, financially, and otherwise. But that image of improper behaviors is still standing on its way. Whenever you meet people here, both sometimes in the train, sometimes in the airplane, first of all, when they see you, sometimes they walk to you and tell you, oh, I know you must be a Nigerian. He said to him, how? Why did you say that? He said, believe me, I know you are a Nigerian. First of all, the way you dress, the way you talk, I know you must be a Nigerian. And they're right. Because Nigerians carry their head up, regardless of the bad name that we have all over the world. But they still single us out wherever they see us, because Nigerians doesn't shy out. They are outspoken, and when they work hard. Go to almost every hospital in the United States. You must see one medical doctor, so many nurses, so many accountants that are Nigerian origin. Yes, that is positive.
All right. So finally, Mazi, thank you so much for your response. But finally, what message, given your experience and the fact that you're well-traveled, what advice would you give younger Nigerians, those in diaspora, those in Nigeria? What would be your advice to them towards nation building and building a stronger brand for the Nigerian states?
Well, My advice will be for the mostly for not only the young Africans or the young Nigerians. First of all, when I was with a couple of people, Africans today, and my advice to them is, please, you are in this country, work hard, be focused. And I know if you work hard and focus, to be honest with you, the sky will be your limit. You might not make it in one day, but slow and steady, believe me, you will achieve all that you never knew that you will achieve. And I went ahead an example. A group of them, I told them, I said, listen, when I came to this country, I started by driving a taxi while going to college. I showed them my hand where I was shot. While driving taxi, I was shot 3 times. And eventually, I still finished college, got my degree, and then started working for the New York State as an investigator for 21 years before I resigned and become an investor in real estate. So I wasn't using any other person to give them example. I was using myself directly to give them example, and I tell them, just slow but steady and be focused. Don't look at this person because you saw him, he has Pathfinder, he has BMW, he has Jaguar. Focus. Believe me, in 5 to 10 years, you wouldn't believe where you will see yourself. And your record will continue to be steady. And know it very well. Please make sure that you always keep your credit in a good standing, and the sky will be your limit. That's my advice.
All right, Mazi, I can't help but comment on the picture of Dim, Chukwemeko Dimegwu Chukwu, hanging just behind you over the wall. What are some life lessons it goes to say that you respect Dimo Dimegwu Chukwu immensely. Now, what are some of the life lessons you gleaned or you've practiced, being, well, for lack of a better phrase, a student of Dimo Dimegwu Chukwu? Because I see his frame hanging just behind you.
Yes. I have another organization that I'm the president, which is TRF, the Renaissance Forum in the United States, which was inaugurated. We came from United States and inaugurated it at Enugu. And I am the last person and my organization that received Dim Dimegwu Chukwu last in the United States before he died. The last visit he made in the United States, we received him at JFK and took him out, had a very big discussion with him, and he's a respectable man, and he talked to us as brothers, and you see him down to earth, not minding his educational background, his wartime background, and everything, but he was still, he piped down so low. At the same time, the time we met with him, and the other African leaders. And he advised us, always think home. Always think home. And that advice, I took it, and I know most of my colleagues did take it. We helped some of our colleagues to come to Nigeria, get involved in the politics, and won. Yes. So we learned a lot from Dim Ojukwu, because he is very encouraging to us that are younger generation to him.
All right, finally, Mazi, the KG Festival is building up and right around the corner. What is the plan for this year's KG Festival, and what will be the inputs from your organization?
Well, you know, my town, Arondi Zogo, is kind of a peculiar town. My town, Arondi Zogo, have 26 villages. We have 11 Ezes. And sometimes, because of all these Ezes with divisions of the community, now they have conflict. And because of that, in my lifetime, I have only seen my town only once. They have 2 Ikeji at the same time. The Izuog and the Ihieme having 2 different Ikeji, which never happened ever before. And he wanted to happen again this year. This, our organization, which is APUNCNA, not American. And then we went in and called the attention of all the traditional rulers, and asked them that Ikeji, please, let's have 1 Ikeji. Having 2 separate Ikeji in 1 community is not something beneficial and encouraging, and it does not bring the community around this town together, and we do not want it to happen again. Glory be to God. They tend to have listened to us, and they went, had a meeting, and came back and told us, yes, we have looked at what you guys asked us, and we are going to follow that loud by putting that same date that the Izuog have pronounced first in January to be the day we are going to pronounce for our own Ikeji, which is Ihieme. Izuog, Ihieme are 1. So yesterday they pronounced that date to be the same date that Ikeji will take place without any divisions, which was something very great. Because this thing, I am saying it now, I would say it again maybe 2-3 times today in the meetings that I'm going to attend. Because the R&D Zone board of directors will have meeting at 11 o'clock. The other one by 3 p.m. All the PGs in R&D Zone. And all the residents in the diaspora will be involved.
Okay, Mazi, before we let you go, finally, are there plans to export the KG Festival to North America, maybe as plans towards fostering cultural diplomacy between Nigeria and North America?
Well, it's happening already. Now, whenever we have our Ikeji Festival in North America, we have our Ojojo women dance. We have our masquerade perform. And we're even planning with time that we will be having our Ikeji Festival on the street like a carnival, the same way we do it in R&D Zone. I don't know if you have witnessed Ikeji R&D Zone. It's one of the biggest carnival all over the world in R&D Zone. So we have been able to secure the KG R&D Zone to become one of the national festivals recognized by federal government of Nigeria. So your question is yes.
All right, thank you so very much, Mazi Emmanuel, Nwankwo, Chairman, R&D Zone Patriotic Union, North America, discussing events in Nigeria and the image of Nigerians in diaspora. Thank you so much for being here, Mazi. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.